That's what's going on. Welcome in. So one thing that I wanted to dive into was something that Robert Saleh said in his press conference after today's practice, right? Obviously, today was the first practice of Jets training camp. I'm so excited it's here. Man, just super pumped up. Today's day 2 overall, right? Technically speaking, day 1, it was just filled with interviews and press conferences. But anyway, after the practice, and by the way, I actually did a recap kind of breaking down that practice. I'll leave it linked down below in the description box. But in any case, Robert Saleh met with the media afterwards and, of course, talked about the team, talked about Hard Knocks, covered a bunch of different bases. But one thing in particular was the Dalvin Cook situation. And I have a couple quotes pulled up here. He said, "You never want to say no to a great player, but of course, there's a lot of stuff that goes into the contract and whatnot, and that he's going to defer to Joe Douglas on this one." And the reason why I feel like this is relevant, I mean, we've officially shifted gears into the portion of the off season where stuff is happening, right? Things are materializing quickly. I mean, just think about it. In this last week, we've seen the Quinn Williams extension. We've seen Hard Knocks, the official Hard Knocks announcement. We've seen DeAndre Hopkins sign a multi-year, 2-year, $26 million deal with the Tennessee Titans. We've seen training camp start. We've seen the Jets trade wide receiver Denzel Mims to the Lions yesterday. I mean, stuff is happening. Stuff is moving. So it begs the question, with everything that we know right now about Dalvin Cook on his next, the wish list, if you will, what he's looking for in his next destination, he wants to take a team over the top. He wants to be the winning piece, right? He wants to be one of the reasons why that said team wins the Super Bowl. He wants to be wanted. He wants to be himself, and he wants to have a big role with his team. We've heard that he's turned down supposedly an offer from the Miami Dolphins. We've also heard rumors that he currently has an offer from the Minnesota Vikings still. So based off of what we know so far, based off of the linked teams to him, of course, Jets, Dolphins, apparently the Vikings, we have to factor in the Denver Broncos, the New England Patriots. It seems like Dalvin has a pretty big market, but as we saw with Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley, and also understanding that Leonard Fournette, Kareem Hunt, Ezekiel Elliott, these guys are still on the free agency market. The market for running backs right now, it just doesn't seem like teams are willing to give out a lot of money. So depending on how much Dalvin Cook wants, that to me is really the ultimate question here. If he's turning down a contract offer from the Miami Dolphins and wait to see if he can get something better, it tells me that, of course, money it's not on the back burner here. It's going to be factored in. Think about it. If the Miami Dolphins was his #1 destination and he had the opportunity to go there and he had similar offers elsewhere, you would think that he would jump on the opportunity. But at the same time, there has been some reports suggesting that Dalvin's going to really enjoy this process. He's going to have fun with it, right? And we've seen that on social media with him interacting with fans and interacting with different jersey swaps and whatnot. So it should be a crazy ride to see where Dalvin ends up signing. But again, this is pedal to the metal. We're seeing moves left and right, trading Mims, D-Hop signing with Tennessee. Stuff is happening. Training camp is here. There's not much time to waste. The good news regarding Breece Hall, it seems like everything's on track. He was moving today. Yes, he is on the PUP list, but of course he could come off at any time. It's not the biggest deal in the world. Everybody knew that this was going to, he was going to be on the list. So we'll see how it plays out. Hopefully Breece continues his, doing what he has to do, and we see him back on the field quickly. But in the event that he's not, Dalvin Cook, definitely an option. One more quick thing that just popped into my head from CJ Mosley, right? Something that CJ Mosley said yesterday, where he thought that Jamien Sherwood could be the team's breakout player on defense, maybe hinting at the fact that the Jets aren't keen on bringing Quan Alexander back. If the Jets aren't interested in the Quan market, one would assume, okay, that might free up a little bit of money as far as like the mental game goes. If you're a general manager and you have your eye on Quan and your eyes on Dalvin, maybe a third safety, whoever it may be, you're kind of thinking, okay, well, there's only so much money to go around. If Quan all of a sudden is no longer an option and Jamien Sherwood is, you know, doing his thing in practice and looks like a legitimate option, now Quan's off the table. Does that mean Joe Douglas could fork over a little bit more cash to Dalvin to not only just bring him to the team, but essentially take him away from the rival Patriots or Dolphins? Maybe. Joe Douglas doesn't really strike me as the type of guy to increase an offer quickly or to make a emotional, like, rash decision like that. He tends to stick to the book as far as how he feels a certain player is rated, what he feels like a fair offer is. He doesn't really come off of that stance very much as far as, you know, his tenure with the New York Jets is concerned. But I will say, this season's different. We're thinking about the ultimate goal, winning the championship. What happened with Chuck when Chuck Clark went down with the injury? He quickly pivoted and went out and signed Adrian Amos. And it was well documented after that signing that there wasn't that initial interest. The Jets felt good about the safety position, but they knew how big of a role that Clark was going to be in the defense. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, go Jets.